All right. I think we have time for one last question, and I'm going to save it for Penelope Moyers. She was wondering, after listening to Alex's wonderful stories this week, about creating just the right challenge to foster habits of innovation for individuals. So really being cognizant that what might be right for one person on your team might not work for somebody else, and how do you kind of gauge where somebody is and give them that meet them right where they are, so you're pushing them into their growth zone, and not turning them off from the whole process.
Yeah, I really like that phrasing when I read it, just the right challenge. I think that's a really succinct and way to put it. Um, it almost perfectly describes if you're managing a team, especially if you're working through a design thinking project, you're going to have people who are good at research. You'll have people that are more adept at drawing the designs during brainstorming or capturing information during the brainstorming. You'll have obviously people, if it's a technology product, the engineers, developers who have that skill set. And in the midst of a project, and if things are going well, there can be a tendency for people to want to overextend their contribution just by nature of wanting to contribute, and they get excited. There's an energizer in the group. It's keeping things going. So if you're managing that, if you're a project manager or a product owner, and you start to sense that someone is overextending, or their work is infringing on another's in the group, determining a challenge that's just the right size, something that's not going to overwhelm them, something that's not going to cause them to feel like they're not contributing enough. It's a skill that takes practice, and it might be trial by fire, but recognizing that is so key to maintaining balance of work on any project. And the principle also, I think, goes to go all the way back to the question about Tom's question about introducing design thinking into a conservative location. If you think about it, laying the whole thing on them at once is not going to be the right challenge for a group of managers. But breaking it off into maybe getting someone to express their views on processes that are intended to bring about innovation might be just the right challenge and just the right question that starts them thinking about, well, I don't know, what is a good process for how do we approach innovation here? So I think it's also an expression of how the learning and teaching relationship. So you want to present information at the end, when you're also at the end of the project, when you're wrapping up and you're going to test prototypes. You have to put it in the hands of people that are going to understand its intended use. It's another opportunity to issue just the right challenge and to elicit the kind of feedback that you need and not overwhelm someone with your new product, your new idea, your new thing.
I like how you tied that back into Tom's question, because I do think those two are directly related. using too much lingo is absolutely something that I have found can turn people off faster than anything, whereas actually just engaging in the process with them starts to build their comfort with it and their enjoyment of being a vital part of a team. And then the buy-in piece comes along much more easily.